We are live tonight on Mental Health Warriors, and I'm joined by my beautiful partner, Michael Walsh, who's here to talk about his new business, Love and Healing Within. Welcome to the show tonight, Michael.
Hi, Kim. Hi, everybody. It's nice to be
Great to
back
have
again.
you. So before we jump into the show tonight, I just want to share the Mental Health Warriors banner. So then we'll come to open up an amazing conversation with Michael Walsh tonight. Okay. Welcome back. So tonight, Michael, I wanted to open up to talk about love and healing within. Now, I wanted to share my experience with your work and what you do. And I wanted to share how I felt when I came to see you, because my understanding is that you are a shaman, an energy healer, and you do Reiki and sound bowl healing. And my first experience of you was I was very open to see what you could look at doing from a healing point of view. And it really opened up my eyes, because what came out of it for me was that I thought that you were really looking into my eyes, which was into my soul. And I wanted to ask you tonight, what is it about your business and, the work that you do with people and to actually look at healing people in an energetic way?
Hi, everybody. Like I'm always a big believer that the eyes are the gateway to the soul. I have always found that having this ability to be able to shift loads of layers for people by looking deep within their eyes. It's like tapping into their DNA. It's um, like not going too far fetched on it, but sometimes different spirits can come forward, be it of a family line, be it of ill will in different ways, can come forward to be cleared. And that too can help a lot of people to be able to evolve forward without having that difficulty hanging over them, be it a guilt or shame, or and they may not even know what's actually going on. But once that actually comes to the forefront, nearly 10 out of 10 of times, it just wants to be cleared in energies. And that's what can help
And,
people to move forward.
and so would you say it's like an unused energy, or is it an energy that we hold within our body, which just helps get clarity? Would you say that that's kind of a key piece with your work?
Yes, yeah. Like I've met many different scenarios what people are going through, and when you actually break it down and you go back into childhood traumas, or you can go into emotions that they may be feeling, may be overeating, depression, anxiety, drink, drugs. When you start tapping into all of these, you carry many, many layers. So when you start breaking down those and bringing everything back into balance, because that's what I find is a lot of people go out of balance with multiple of experiences in their lives, and it will put you out of balance. That's the whole purpose of it. That's the whole purpose of these energies. That's what they want to do, is put you out of balance, so you'd stay in fear, you stay in guilt or shame. That is what these energies like to play around with, and that's what I like to look at and see what it is all about, and sometimes move them on, clear them on, and help them to evolve as much as us is to evolve as humans. But then
So
they can evolve to another level.
so I love that word balance. So you're clearing the energies to help people become more balanced. Um, and how does someone feel like when, and I really love the fact that you've shared that, it doesn't matter what trauma or life experience that someone will have, you're
Mm.
clearing these old energies that people are holding through the layers that we've created through our life. Would you say that that's kind of true?
Yeah, and most definitely. Sometimes it comes through the family tree. It comes down through bloodline. It can jump timelines. It can jump linear timelines on families, and it can create lots of havoc and upsets in different ways. So when I actually tap into that, um, more more than ever, them spirits want to come forward to be cleared, or they may sometimes there may be elements on the body that the human eye can't see, but um, I can see different things that would be shown to me, and I just move that out of the body, and for me, I feel energy through my hands. So as well as seeing, and sometimes might get pictures or visuals of different things. Um, for me, I can feel on a person, which I call a vessel, because this is us as we're a vessel. They have a vessel, so I can feel hot and cold energies through my hands. So I can go around the whole body and just scan it and do my work on them that way. Yeah.
And
Um,
would you say that that is something around the shadow?
yeah, most
Because
definitely. Yeah, it can
yeah,
be. Yeah,
and I'll be curious to
it
know
can.
what
It
your
can be.
your interpretation is around shadows, because in looking in the
See,
eyes,
shadows.
yeah,
Yeah. Um, which shadow energies through all the clients and everything that I've seen over the years, shadow can come in multiple of different limelights. It can um, affect a person in a sense that, okay, there's something going on here, I'm not feeling right. um, I'm great one minute, and the next minute then I'm really down in the dumps, or I just can't seem to keep my head in the job, or I'm exhausted. One week and I'm great and I'm going to the gym and I'm doing all the good things, and the next week I'm feeling deprived, depression, or just feeling really down and low. So with the
and
shadow, the shadow can come across and look in the sense that it's like it will give you little feeders. It's like it will allow you to see X amount, and then it's kind of like, oh yes, I'm great. And then the next thing is, oh, what's wrong with me? I was great last week, and this week I can't get my head off the bed. I just don't
and
want
if
to
I
do
can
anything.
if I can interrupt, do
Yeah.
you think that these are energies that we can sometimes take on from other people? So we could take on other energies from other people who might be in trauma, and then that energy creates, would that be a form of shadow as well? Where people are taking on all these other external energies that might not necessarily be theirs to carry, and
Mm.
yet trying to release them and coming to see someone like you.
Yeah, look, a lot of people can take on different energies very simply, just even having ill thought for somebody. Like, somebody pulls out in front of them and they're effing and blinding and the horn is on and everything. Now, that person could drive off, not take any notice of it, but you as a person could be carrying that for the rest of the journey down the road. And lo and
Mm.
behold, it's like meeting the red light every time. It'll keep coming, red light, red light, red light. So, and you'll be running and you'll be rushing forward. So how would I say, the shadow always comes up in multiple of different ways from what I've seen. Um, you can pick them up very simply, um, if you're very open, if you're very much, that you're empathic,
Yeah.
but you're not looking after yourself. So you're so sensitive, and you decide to go to a nightclub. There's lots of drugs going on there, but still, you're very empathic, but still you want to be out, and you come home feeling heavy and down. Well, that's you probably more than likely are taking on the energies of the night. It doesn't mean you're taking on shadows, as we would call it. They can be multiple of different layers. They can come in multiple of different layers. Are
And I
are
really
you looking for a description of it?
Well, no, it's more just seeing the and understanding the interpretation, because my other
Mm,
thought process is, when we see someone else that we feel like we've got a connection with, um, is it sort of similar shadows, or when we see something in someone else, that we get frustrated about or angry about, is it because they're holding something that we either want or holding something that we don't like? And so I think the shadow, of energies,
mm.
can come in so many different ways. And I'll be curious to kind of know, your thoughts around that, and probably strategies as well to help people, because I feel that the energies can come in forms of emotions. So, yeah, I'll be curious to know what you think about that and seeing someone else.
Yeah, look, in a lot of cases is that it can come in, um, people watching porn, or people deciding they just drink too much, and they have this feeling that they can never break these habits in different ways. And there's just one or two points that I'm making here. Um,
Can you talk to me more about that? Because I really like that line, and I think it's really
yeah.
important to kind of share
Um,
that.
You see, you can take on lots of energies of shame or guilt or emotions within, just say if it's porn, or let's say if it was gambling or something, and you're trying to hide that lie that you're not doing it, and you're trying to say it's
Yeah,
not a problem, and then one day it becomes a major problem. People start to find out about it, and you go, right, I want to get help. Well, when people come to me with certain problems in relation to in that way,
yeah,
um, 9 times out of 10, what you're doing is bringing them back to balance. You're not saying stop it straight away. You're showing them multiple of different ways to change their life. It's all about the free will. Are they willing to make those changes? So when a person comes to me, 9 times they're ready. They're ready for change. The person is ready for change. I've always said no one has come in front of me unless they're ready for change in some way. So what happens is that energy comes as well. They speak with an open heart. This is my problem. Can you help? Can you share? Can you help to bring me back into balance? And there the work begins.
and what about people, Mike, who, you see opportunities and you see so much, opportunity to change for them, and even though you share that, I only, work with people who are open to change, um, do you think that the people that are not open to change, is it just that they're fearful of looking at this? Because a
Yeah.
lot of people are fearful of someone looking into their eyes,
Mm.
and it's quite a confronting thing.
Yeah.
And to have that gift that you have, which is shifting energies. And I know your Reiki and sound healing bowls. And I know you also, to your clients, because I also experienced it, was your singing in tongue. It's that
Yeah,
clearing these energies. And I felt so much energy when I came to actually see you, to have that experience, to have that energetic
yeah.
healing. And it's an alternate medicine that I think um, needs to be more like shared. So how would you share that, with others? How would you get that message across to actually really share to people, that if you're not open, that this is this that I offer? What would you share?
Well, it's an interesting question
What would
because,
be
yeah, like, um, sharing to the world is something for me. It's like, I'm stepping out of the spiritual closet and showing the world, here I am. This is what I do. My life wasn't perfect, and I had to face lots of shadow myself. And I share that with everybody that I meet now. And because we all have a story, when we all have something that has on in our lives that has shaped us, formed us to who we are now. And I try and find the beauty within the toughest of those moments, because there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel, because I'm living proof of it. And I love sharing with people my story, because um, people are very quick to just look and go, "Oh, your life looks great. It looks fantastic," but behind closed doors, it could be an absolute mess. And once, like, I started stepping in and looking at my shadow, like, my world absolutely fell apart, and it was all for my own doing. It was my own. I was my own wrecking ball. Anybody come close to me, I was destroying it. I was destroying it in every level. Because it was the one thing was, I never wanted to face my shadow, and the shadow was speaking my truth and opening up myself to the world. And now that I embrace that, and now that I show that, and share that with everybody, is just because you might be going through a tough time doesn't mean that it's going to be always like that. Life will change, but it's all about you believing in yourself. And what is it? What is it that you want to believe in? What's your passion? If you don't know what your passion is, well, that's brilliant. That's good. That's a starting block. Start looking, researching, because I was looking for ways to heal myself. And I thank my shaman friends. I thank all my mentors that has got me to where I am, because I was a mess. I couldn't even, at stages, was I couldn't even lift my head off the pillow. My depression was yeah, it was really, really tough.
And
So yeah,
do you think that that was the turning point for you?
absolutely, yeah,
Acknowledging where you were at, and realizing that there is more hope. Can you share with me, because I just want to acknowledge, that just sharing that is a big thing, because it puts you in a position to actually help others. Because if you
yeah,
hadn't have
most
done
definitely,
this, if you hadn't have
yeah.
done this, you think, or gone through this, do you think that you would be in this position of wanting to help others if you didn't help yourself?
Look, most definitely, Kim. You know, I will never forget the night that I picked up the phone, and I phoned a helpline, and it was the best thing I ever did for myself. You can camouflage it as much as you like, but um, if your life is that much of a mess, sometimes it's good to reach out. And um, I didn't realize what it was going to do for me, Kim. Um, within less than a week, of making that phone call. I had daily phone calls from the support teams. I was into counselling. I was put into men's groups within a week, and it changed my life. It changed my life. But the very interesting thing was inside there. There was still something inside my brain, saying to me is, well, what are the tool sets? What are the tool sets that are going to help me moving forward? Because I want tool sets. And I've been asking this from all the my teachers, everything is give me tool sets so I can share and I can help and support other people out there. Like you can go and um, sit in counseling and talk about different things. Um, and it is, and there is some beautiful tool sets out there now, and I love offering my tool sets because from that time that it happened to me, um, I learned so many different ways. If it was journaling, in meditation, if it was sitting in circles, if it was talking in men's groups, and I just became a sponge for learning how to cure. Because I never knew what depression was. I never knew what anxiety was, and I had to deal with childhood traumas, and I, I I just didn't know how to handle it, and I didn't know what it was to actually open up and be emotional because everything was suppressed. And my saying in my life now is suppression leads to depression. So if you're suppressing something inside you, you're creating depression in some part of your body, and that we don't need to be carrying us as humans.
And creating probably more energies, which is additional shadows or, heavy energies
Exactly,
essentially. But
exactly.
I just wanna go to, what when you reached out, I mean, I think
Mm.
the toughest thing for anyone is actually asking for help. And so for you, what was the piece for you to share, like, with the audience? You know, what actually got you to reach out? Because it's really difficult because I think we all sit in, "Oh, I don't need help. We need to be strong. We need to just get on with things." But sometimes, there comes a point with all of us, and I know I've reached out to people to ask them for help, and it's a really tough thing to do. So I'm curious to know, how did you do it to share it with the audience, and what made you do it?
Well, we'll jump on. We'll go. What made me do it was the fact that there wasn't a week that was going by that I wasn't thinking about taking my own life. And excuse me, um, that was like it. That was going on sometimes on a daily basis. That was going on. There wasn't a week gone by that there wasn't thoughts of taking my own life. Um, Probably 3 or 4 times a week. Um, and it's just that shame that I felt so shameful because of my childhood traumas, and I felt so guilty in what I had done. So I had to. That's what my life fell
Well,
apart,
maybe not
and
what you had done, if I could just correct you, was it what had happened to you with your experience? So
well,
in
it was
not sharing.
what had happened. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was what had happened in my life. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just look for in the case of the different studies there. Um, it's sometimes for men it takes anything up to between 25 and 30 years to break that silence of different things.
Oh,
For
really?
women, it's the number is phenomenally high, because men don't want to speak, they don't want to talk. And when my
And
psychologist
do you think
said that to me. Sorry.
so do you think that sorry, because you've just got some really good information that I'm not, wanting to interrupt, but do you think that that's a cultural thing, or it's just a man thing, because I think this is really important to share.
This
Um,
is global. This is not just, this is around the world. That's not just a cultural thing. It's a global thing.
and is that something that you'd want to change, like coming from your experience? Would
Yeah,
you want to change?
most definite. Most definite. Um, you know, as times are growing, as life is going on, um, you know, I've only ever known using my hands and being in construction. And you know, the amount of guys that I've spoken to over the years, and people come to me inside of work and want to sit and chat and tell me all their stories and ask for advice in different ways, and that's been going on with years. I didn't realize that I'd be doing what I'm doing now, but when I look back and it's like, wow. When I think of all this stuff that people have shared with me, and they've trusted me to share it with me, and I don't share their stories, but there is a lot of people out there that are definitely looking for help and support, Kim, and um, even down to a conversation today. I was sitting with a bunch of blokes, and it's true. People don't know what to say anymore. Like if somebody's doing it tough or whatever in the workplace, and they just, you know, what can you do? So, like, people want, like, COVID has knocked people around for six, mentally, physically, emotionally, in all these different aspects, and people are looking for answers. And you know, if you are in Sydney and you have an hour and a half of your time to spare, and you'd like to come and sit, and yeah, let's see what Spirit can bring forward, and let's see what I can channel and bring through, and yeah, to help, because
And
I
I think,
that's that I'm here of service.
yeah, and I think, you are of service, Michael, and I think it's
Mm,
really important that people get to hear this, even, through the mental health warriors. You have a
mm.
gift. You have a beautiful gift. And just even you sharing, saying that people are trusting me. So why do you think people trust you? Why do you think people come to you? What is it about you, Michael, that people are attracted to?
Yeah, look, I know once I get and sit in that spaces, you know, I love when Spirit channels through. I love when that energy. So I think, Kim, it's just that beauty of all that energy just coming through to help people. It's yeah, it's truly beautiful.
And
Um,
and with and without breaking any confidence of some of the clients that have come to see you, I mean, I know you touched on a lot of people that have had different traumas. Um,
yes,
I'd love you to share with us, a few stories, because what I've heard,
yeah,
there's a lot of people that have come to you that have had breakthroughs and amazing breakthroughs. So even if you can share the type of trauma, or, I mean, I know one client that you had, they were having bad dreams, and they
mm,
were physically, reaching out in the night, um, and so, in doing that type of work, how did you get them from having that sort of physical, sort of energy that they're holding within their vessel? How do you put that, just to share?
just repeat that again, Kim, because you were kind of breaking up there.
Um,
Just
so it's
repeat your
it's really,
question.
yeah, it's just really sharing with everyone on the Mental Health Warriors,
Yeah.
um, how you
So
do
yeah,
that work.
look, um, I've had so many different clients in different ways. I had a lovely lady come, and she just said, "Will you check my energy field?" She said that I'm going to do an IVF, and I just want to make sure my energy field is clear and see if there's any blocks. And automatically, as she sat down, I could see a little boy standing beside her, and he was sharing his name and everything. And yeah, she went off and did her IVF. And I didn't really hear any more from her, but she messaged me just probably around 13 months later, and she said, I'd like you to meet my lovely little baby. And we called him the name and everything, and it was truly beautiful. Um, from cases of people coming in with very bad depression. That I had one person that never wanted to play music ever again, and after a few sessions and getting him the help and support, now he is back once again teaching people music and playing and singing again. He's found his love. Um, I have so many stories, so many beautiful moments with people. Um, yeah, so many beautiful moments with people. It's truly beautiful, Kim. Um, helping people just to because like people they may be hearing things, they might be hearing buzzing in their ear, they might be waking up during the night, they might have some physical elements going on with their body. um, yeah, even before my dad passed, my mum said, "Oh, Dad is, he's seeing spirits and everything," and I said, "Oh, really?" So I just channeled in, and I was on the phone, my mother speaking to her at the same time, and she just goes to me through the line. She goes, "What did you do with Dad?" And I said, "Why, Mum? What's wrong?" And she said, "He's sitting there smiling, happy out." And I said, He's okay. He's okay now." Because yeah, Dad was having some visitors calling to him, um, before he passed, and those spirits weren't nice, and there is no place for that. Um, I everything I learn, Kim, I teach to my daughter, and I teach to anybody or anybody's children or whatever, ways to look after themselves, because when you're young you shine a very bright light, and certain spirits will attract to that, and they create lots of havoc for young kids and teenagers, and people think, oh, there's something wrong with them, they should be on medication, they should be whatever. I'm living proof that you do not need to be medicated. Um, you just need to get yourself back in balance, get your diet plan back in place, and look after yourself. So the
And
beautiful
do
of,
you,
of
and
what
like
I do, Kim. Yeah.
then I go, you go. Keep going.
No, what I was going to say is the beautiful thing here, Kim, is I had gone from somebody that I had my self esteem was so low and everything. I never ever imagined that my life would go from where it was to where it is now, and to be able to help different people, to give them tool sets and give them homework, give them like, and if they're really really passionate about making themselves better, it will happen. It's like getting out in nature, it's getting out sitting in the grass. Sometimes if you like running, like I used to run marathons, and I used to love running in the rain. God, I used to wash off, and I used to feel so great, even though back in Ireland it was really cold, but I still used to love running in the rain. So, there's multiple of things that I teach people now, because that's what I've done with the past probably 8 years now, is just constant studying every day. And
Yeah.
I just share that.
And I think my understanding is that you are actually teaching. You've got a couple of students who have come to you
Yes.
for healing, who you're also providing guidance and
Yeah.
teachings on.
Yes,
So that seems like that's growing as well. And I
absolutely.
know
Yes,
that you are looking at doing more men's groups as well. Is
yeah,
that something that you're looking
yes.
into?
Yeah, and I'm gonna start running meditation groups as well, so people just can come and relax. They can meditate and listening to my sound. The music that I sing, I don't. It's not recorded. I just channel whatever comes through. Um, it's like it's like I get this tones type of energy that comes through me, and I just sing with it. It's something I've done all my life, and something I used to be told stop speaking gibberish, but yeah, I absolutely love it. I love the energy that comes with it. It's really, really can be really strong and it can be really soft. It's like balancing of the masculine and the feminine, depending on what's my audience or who's in front of me as a client. It's just finding that balance, you know?
And how do you look after yourself with like your self-care? Because this must be, you know, having all these clients that come to you and you're clearing these amazing, well, these energies.
Mm,
And people, I know from my own personal experience and other people's experience that I've heard, they feel so uplifted. They're so energized and they are actually blown away by the work that you do. So how do you, as a healer, and someone who brings that forward, how do you work on yourself? Like, what's the work that you do for you?
yeah, look, when I started out on this journey, I used to get drained. I used to get so drained, but I was so passionate. I wanted to help so many people, or I wanted to be able to transmute so much energy, but it was detrimental to my body. Yeah, it was tough on the body. I can tell you when I was starting out, just learning what it was to be actually centered and balanced. And what I do for myself now, it's like anybody out there can use this. I have a brilliant imagination. Like my imagination can take me off to different planets, journeys, different things. When I sit in peace. So, but when I go and have a shower, that's like my wash. That's my cleansing. So for me, it's like a visual of gold. The water just turns gold and it's just washing off my energy field. Sometimes it might be just simply going out and standing in nature. um you're guaranteed to see me hugging a tree, or yeah, transmitting the energy out through my feet. Going on the beach or going for a swim is one of my most favorite things that I love doing, is getting out and getting in for a good wild swim, even if the water is dirty, I still get in there. Um, there's loads, Kim, like between saging and, I use Florida water a lot to cleanse my energies. Um, my diet is pretty good. It's all that self care of just being, um, yeah. It's just, it doesn't affect me as much as it used to, Kim. It's something that I just do naturally now. Where before I was trying to, um, a person might tell me, drink this or take that, or take this or take that, and for a finish is now is yeah, I just work with spirit and I clear that energy. And then sometimes I stand on the grass barefooted, or I go for a walk in the nature. As I said, I love going for a swim, so that's brilliant too. But if can't do that, I love going to the and under the shower, and just allow that to that golden energy. I just feel that runs through me, and it's beautiful.
And
I
I know,
just went through midnight.
and I know you also do journaling as well. Um,
Yes.
and having that quiet downtime to create that balance as well.
Yeah. With family life and everything, sometimes that can be difficult to fit it in. But that is all about self-care, making that time. For me, I meditate a lot. I can meditate, and a lot of people out there in the world can meditate even while they're sitting in a car or doing certain things. I don't believe that you have to sit in silence to be doing that. You can do that. You just train your mind to be that way, and it's all about breath. It's one of the key things that I work with is just bringing back that breath, bringing it back, just actually being present. I recommend anybody to just do some breath work. There's loads of stuff online that you can be doing, and the power of your breath. I did not know what that was, but when I started suffering anxiety, and I was probably suffering anxiety all my life, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just never knew what it was. Depression, I've been suffering that yeah, I've been suffering that all my life. Um, it was, I had so many different labels. If it wasn't depression, it was anxiety. If it wasn't that, I had PTSD. And if it wasn't that, it was, oh, I'm dyslexic. I can't do this. I can't do that. And slowly as life has got on, I've started to just drop the bags. It was too heavy. And you asked me earlier, why did I reach out for help? Because I knew I needed it. That was definite. I needed help. Um, yeah, I was at rock bottom, and yeah, I just really needed help because I was frightened. I was really, really frightened. I was really, really scared. And I felt like an absolute failure in every way within my frame as a man. And plus, I didn't even realize what a man was because I did not see that in myself. So
But in reaching out and
yes,
to slowly take steps forward,
yes,
you know, and as you just shared, having the labels, that some of us do actually have those labels, which, we do identify with in some way, or another. How do you now see yourself and, with consistently working on yourself and the self-care, has that strengthened your position, which is also strengthened, the work that you do, would you say?
yeah. Look, it definitely has. It definitely has helped me hugely. Like the person that I'm, like it's kind of strange. I'm looking at myself here, and I'm like trying to not focus on that, but it's like, the person that is in front of you was not the person um going back, when I left Ireland in 2011. um you know I just know that everything that I've done for myself has made me stronger, um physically, emotions, the facing those shadows, if we want to call it the word shadow.
Yeah.
If we facing that shame or facing that the pain within ourselves, um, and actually start talking about it, it doesn't hold, and it doesn't have that clause on you anymore once you start to talk about it.
So would you say it's good to start sharing your shadows? And so could we reframe that for people?
Yeah.
Um, and like seeing someone like you, Michael, um, because everyone, what I heard before with, just even the years of you working in construction, guys are trusting you. So they're opening up, would you say, hearts and sharing with you their fears, sharing with you their shame, which then forms what we've been really talking about tonight with the shadow. And we all have a shadow, one way or another.
Mhm.
it's just, and I loved what you shared earlier is, is it suppression with
Suppression
depression?
leads
Like
to depression. Suppression leads
suppression
to
leads to
depression.
depression. Yeah. So
Yeah.
in looking at that, depression leads to depression, can we start sharing in a safe environment and, having these, men's group, it sounds like you're very well equipped through your men's circles that you were in as well to be able to be in a strong position to lead that for men and or women. You know, yeah. How do you feel
Yeah,
about that?
you'd be amazed within the support networks when you would actually go and sit there. Um, you know, like you've just said, everybody has something to share. Everybody have different things that has happened in life. But I've often seen is sitting in those circles. You may not want to speak, but you'd be very surprised not to hear a similar story to your life within sitting in circles. Um, Sitting there as a facilitator, or sitting there as a support network within with any of my clients. I feel very honored that people trust me. I feel very honored that people open up and are willing and want to share. Um, we carry so much in our lives, Kim, and we don't need to carry it because it might not be ours to even carry. We might be
Yeah,
carrying something that somebody else may have said about us or to us, and it may not be even true. Like I couldn't tell you how many times that it has happened to me and to many of my clients that they start telling a story, and the next thing it's something that somebody else has put upon them, and they've taken it and brought it into their life, and it was
yeah,
like, but it's you that's at fault, really? And oh, this is our secret, tell no one. Like, we carry so many different burdens and
mm,
baggages that it may not be even ours, but within the groups or within one-on-ones, that dim energies do come to the table. And yeah, I won't be long. I don't, yeah, it's something that, yeah, there's a place for that. You get an understanding what that energy or shadow is about, and then you clear that energy. And it's the same with houses. It's same, with clearing houses. I used to do that for people as well. I used to do
yeah.
house clearings or land clearing. Um, that
And
was
you still
really
do that.
interesting work.
Still do that
Yeah,
nowadays.
I still do a lot of land clearing. That's all. I do more on a bigger spectrum now, and that work I do enjoy. I do enjoy being out and going to different places and doing work on the land. Um,
So
and
what
I
is
love the
about
way
that?
I love when all the animals come to see me in different ways. From like I never knew what a goanna was, and I remember I was working way out on the other side of North Kellyville, and I was down inside in the bush, and this massive goanna came up and was coming out of the bush, and I was like going, "Man, you're super impressive." And I took pictures. I got to touch him and everything. He was just a really, really gentle old soul. And I went back up to the boys and I said, "Look what I saw." I said, "It was like something out of the Jurassic Park." And they said, "You must be nuts. That's a guana. That'll climb up along you with his big long claws. And what were you thinking?" I said, "That animal didn't want to do anything to me. He was just a really gentle soul." And I've seen that, and it has have so many experiences with snakes and everything. Um, yeah, a snake being within a foot away from me, and just look at it and eye to eye, and they're not scared of me, and I'm not scared of them, and it's been really, really. I look. I was terrified of the dark. I was terrified of my shadow even at times. Even like, even when I was running marathons, if the sun was behind me, holy hell, that means my shadow is in front of me. So I'd be running even faster. So it's like I face so much stuff now, and I'm more connected with myself, beautifully connected with the energies of the earth, and I share that. And yeah, you ask me how I do things. I just do what I do because I love what I do. You know,
Yeah.
I love
And
what I
what's the
do.
feeling? What's the feeling you get from it? When you have
Well,
seen it.
you know, Kim, the feeling that I get, um, it can last. It can last a couple of days. That energy when it really, really comes through, and it's really just a really soft, grounding energy. You know, it's not that you're greater than people. It's not that we're all one. And what I do is I just transmute the energy across into my clients so they can clear and be that energetic person as well and be lighter, not having that density or that, it holds in muscles, it holds in joints. It can lead to arthritis, it can lead to stomach problems.
Mm.
It's when you get in there and start getting into the essence of it and start draining it out of the body in different ways. Yeah, people, yeah, that energy. My clients feel that energy, and
Well, I know that I was feeling a bit stressed the other day, and
hmm,
my stress is in my stomach, and so
hmm,
I asked you to clear that energy for me, and whereas I had knots in my stomach, and it was really, it wasn't healthy, and I could tell that it was trapped. And with you just, releasing that energy, I felt that flow, and just to express how that feels. It wasn't that tightness in my body which was being held, and it was kind of constricted. And then once you cleared that energy, it was releasing it from my body. And whilst it might sound a bit, different
yeah,
to what people
just
are
yeah,
being used to, it it is quite an amazing energy, and it's getting that clarity and that release and that lightness. And I really, feel that the people who have gone, the clients that you've had,
hmm.
have release. Yeah, and it's amazing work that you do. So yeah, I think it's really great.
And the beautiful thing here as well, Kim, is that you know we can there's many people like me that are teaching and helping people to grow and evolve in different ways. We all have an ability to heal. We can heal ourselves, but it starts from the inside. It's not external, it's an internal work, and it is a journey. But look, I'm still here, I'm enjoying life. I live life of gratitude now. And, getting up early in the morning, it can be difficult in different ways, but I have gratitude. I'm grateful for being alive. Life is here. Life is delivered, and we get one crack at it. So why not make one that you'll never forget?
And what's your favorite thing to do at the end of the week?
Ah, yeah. Sometimes there I go. It brings me back to my breath and just go. Um, I like weighing things up and go, well, how do I feel? Have I grown this week? What is it that I have learned about myself? And I like doing that. I like to be able to just switch off, but that switching off never happens because you're forever it's like I people call it an awakening. I call it a rebirthing. For me, since since I had that episode in my life, it was really hard to take it on board. Was it depression? Was it well, what was it? Well, for me, it was just yeah, an absolute breakdown in every sense of my life, and embracing it and going, hey, yes, I was in a very bad way back then, and I've changed my life and moved forward. So now, what do I do every week? Hey, I go for my swims. I go and relax, and get to the beach. I'm just really about learning what it is to chill out, and I really enjoy the weekends with my clients and everything as well. So yeah, it's like life is really, really good. I'm really loving it. Yeah, I'm really, really loving my life now. Yeah.
And given, I mean, I can't believe we've nearly done an hour of chatting. It's
Mm.
been so easy.
Yeah.
Um, it's I suppose one last thing that you would sort of share with someone who's struggling, and we'll share your website in a minute because I think it's really important to get this message out. You know, um, if someone is struggling or if they're resisting reaching out for help, what is it? What bit of advice would you give them to actually really influence people to really reach out? Because I feel that a lot of people don't take that step and either don't have the courage, and I think it does take a little bit of courage. But how do we support more people who feel like they can't ask for help?
You know, that's a look. That's always an interesting one. Um, you know, to be able to pick up the phone. There's so many different helplines out there. There is so many support networks there. Um, are you ready? Do you want to change? Do you feel it in your belly? You know, is your whole body just saying is enough is enough? Well, it's I always keep saying that Kim is I'm an advocate for this because um I didn't even want to see my 25th birthday, my 30th birthday, my 40th birthday. I was really, really struggling every day with it. But I was more frightened about doing something silly, that that would affect so many other people, not just me, but so many other people. So I would say to anybody, just reach out, talk to them. Even if you're doing brilliant, reach out to another person, ask them how they're doing. It's all about reaching out to be a support, to be a friend. You're not there to save them. You're there to be just somebody that will listen. We all want to do these one or two events in the year, but why not just do it every day? Just checking in once a week with somebody. It may be simple as you meet somebody in the elevator and just go, "How are you doing today?" I tell you, the amount of people that you could do that with, they'd look at you sideways and like, "God, oh, you really want to know?" So yeah, so it's like, it's just that kindness, showing people just basic kindness, and I know that can be difficult, but instead of looking at the ground, and I remember my coaches always saying, look out further afield. If you're looking down to the ground, you're looking down, you're in the past all the time. Try and lift your head up. You're lifting your head up, you're stretching back your shoulders, you know. It's like getting the rays of sunshine in the morning, and if you don't have the rays of sunshine, just to actually just sit back and stretching out your chest and taking a big deep breath. It's
Yeah.
finding yourself within all of this, and
Oh,
if people are struggling, and there is a lot of people just, it's tough. It is tough, but it's doing that little bits of daily rituals for yourself. If it's
Yeah.
mean get up, having a shower, having a shave, doing your hair, putting on your makeup, dressing like you just don't care, just like dressing in all your finest, even though you might have nothing in your bank account or whatever, but just make yourself feel good.
Yeah.
Just finding that love within yourself, even when there's nothing else around you, but finding it within yourself.
Mm.
And that one is a deep one. Um, I did it for months, and then was looking in the mirror saying, "I love you, I love you, I love you." And I did that in the morning, and I did it in the evening, and I can guarantee you, um, it might bring up a lot of emotions when you start tapping into who you are. But yeah, um, but it does work. It really does work, and there's many tool sets out there. Go on the lovely wide web, you find loads of different meditations and different things. And go onto my website, it's www.loveandhealingwithin.com, and you'll find me there. There's lots of different things that can to make your life and change your life, and it all comes from within you. It's believing. It's believing within you.
Yeah. And I know because your beautiful Irish accent that, just to be clear, www.loveandhealingwithin.com.
Yes.
What a beautiful story, beautiful sharings, Michael. And it's been an absolute
Thank you.
pleasure having you on the show tonight. And
Yeah.
you've shared so
Thank
many
you.
wonderful things. I'll just finish off with our little mental health warriors. But thank you again for coming on the show.
And
It's
thank
been
you, everybody, for listening. Thank you. Thank you, Kim.
amazing. Pleasure.
All right. Bye for now.